What's going on, you guys? It is your boy JoshXBarber back with another video. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new and you're not subscribed, please make sure you guys smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell for me. Today we have a major transformation on our hands. Now let's get right to work. So my client hasn't had a haircut in months. He came in looking crazy, but we're going to start off cutting off the bulk with a number 3 guard using my Babyliss FX1 clippers. And I have the number 3 guard on, like I said, going with the grain and just really trying to, get up under all this hair. Even though this is not normal and it's a lot of work because most people don't go that long without a haircut, being a barber is actually satisfying to be able to really transform somebody to a whole new person. And I can't wait till you guys see the end result, so stay tuned. So we've cut majority of the bulk. Right here I'm just combing out his hair, getting it to lift up off the scalp. I'm going to actually cut it a little bit lower. I'm going to go in with my number 2 guard with the lever all the way open, and we're just going to knock it down a little bit more. My client didn't want it super light. He wanted to leave a good amount so it can stay dark. So the 2 open was a perfect height for him. So as you guys can see, as we're knocking down the bulk, my client does have a light spot on his hairline. I don't know if it's natural and his hair just doesn't grow or it's thinning, but by the looks of it, when he walked in with the fro, it kind of gives the vibes that it's kind of natural, and his hairline just kind of pulls back right there. But nonetheless, we're going to make it look good. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys how it looks naturally lined up, and then we're going to enhance it. But yeah, so I'm still knocking down the bulk with my number 2 guard with the lever open, just getting it to lay down how I want it to, evenly all over, and we're going to be giving my client a taper. The way this pick didn't want to go through his beard told me that he was neglecting his beard also. So I gave the pick to him because I didn't know if I was doing it too hard, and he said it was kind of hurting. And when it comes to that beard, it can get crazy. So I let him do it. He said the beard was kind of getting out of hand as well. So I knocked off a lot of bulk from his beard. We're not cutting it too low. I think I'm using like a number 4 or a number 5 guard to knock down the bulk, just to knock off a lot of this hair to make it easier to maintain. So like I said, we're going to be giving my client a taper. We're doing a high taper, no C-cup. So I'm using my Babyliss Snap FX trimmers with that new Blue FX blade on it, just setting in the bald line. Then we're going to come in and soften up the bald line before we move into our next step. So for the taper fade, I'm using my Babyliss FX1 clipper with the lever all the way open, going up about a ½ inch to set in our next guideline. I try to be very thorough when setting in guidelines so I can minimize dark areas in my fade. And to blend out this guideline, I'm going to close the lever all the way closed and then come back opening it 1 notch from closed and blending it from there. For my next guideline, I'm using my number 1 guard with the lever all the way closed, going up about another ½ inch. So right after setting in my number 1 guard guideline, I come in with my ½ guard and I start right up under that guideline and just flick up to it. So we're going to start the fading down process. Right here I have my number 3 guard on. I'm just going in with the number 3 to create like a foundation for our fade going up into the bulk on top. And right here I have my number 2 guard on, going with and against the grain to try to get a feel for this fade. And I have the number 2 guard with the lever all the way closed, fading right into that number 3 guard closed area. And then right here I have my 1½ guard on, and I'm just fading down like I said. So as I fade down, I go down in guard sizes. I just had the number 2 guard on, so now I'm blending my 1½ closed right into my number 2 guard closed area. So right here I have my number 1 guard with the lever all the way open, blending right into my 1½ closed zone, and I'm just going to start by fading down still. As we fade down, the fade will get lighter and we just blend as we go down. This guy was a first-time client, and his taper on this side was giving me a little bit of problems, so it took me a while to really get it to be detailed how I wanted to. So I came back after I did the lineup and did a lot of detail work and corner blending to really, you know, get this fade going. So now I'm going to focus on the beard. I'm going to put a taper on the top of the beard to get that nice transition into that high taper cut look. It's going to be fire. So we're going to move right into the neck taper. I'm using my Babyliss Snap FX trimmers to set in this bald line on the neck taper. And when I'm setting in my bald line, I make sure I clean up all the hair up under the bald line just to give myself a clean canvas. And I come back and hit the bottom of the guideline to kind of soften it up so that blend will be better as I'm coming in with my Babyliss FX1 clippers, setting in the next guideline. I'm going about a 1/2 inch with no guard on, with the lever all the way open. And we're just gonna make sure that we cut his hair to the way that it grows so we can get an efficient guideline, so we can make the fading process a lot smoother and the hair kind of reacts well to the clippers. So now I have the lever all the way closed, and we just want to hit the bottom of the guideline close to where we put in the bald line with our trimmer and barely push up, just barely, just kind of hit at it. And then I open the lever one more notch and I just go in and I kind of blend right into the full guideline. So now I have the number 1 guard on with the lever all the way closed, going up about a 1/2 inch on the neck taper, and just setting in the next guideline. And as you guys can see, I have to turn the clippers in different directions. That's because his hair, once I get closer to the edge up, the hair starts to like kind of curve inward. So you got to make sure you cut it the way that it's growing so it can have the same shade as the rest of the guideline. And right after setting in that guideline, I'm coming in with that 1/2 guard, blending right into that number 1 guard closed guideline. And we're just going to be fading out this line. And you know, depending on the client's hair texture, you might have to come in and do some detail work, and I always do that. But right now we're just going to start our fading down process, going in with my number 2 guard with the lever all the way closed with the grain first, and now I have it with the lever all the way open, going against the grain, starting the fading down process. And as I go from 2 guard open, I close the lever all the way. So this is a number 2 guard with the lever closed, hitting that same guideline, and we're just going to try to fade out this heavy area right here. And we're going to come right behind that number 2 guard closed guideline zone and come in with my 1.5 guard with the lever all the way closed, fading right into that number 2 guard zone, but not going up as high because we want to keep the transition as we fade down. And just like clockwork, we come back with that 1 guard with the lever all the way open, fading right into that 1.5 guard closed area. But we're not going up as high as I did with the 1.5. So it's like a whole system, and you have to just follow it to a T, but you have to modify it based on your client's hair texture and, you know, whatever you're dealing with. So our last step will be our 1/2 guard coming right behind that 1 guard closed, just going in doing some detail work as needed, blending out the bottom of this taper. Let's get right to it. Y'all see how my client looked when he first sat in the chair? He hadn't had a haircut in months. His hair was overgrown, beard overgrown. This is the cut. This is without enhancements right here, but this is with enhancements. Let me know what you guys think about this cut in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, turn the notification bell, and follow me at JoshXBarber on all platforms. Peace.